My 31 male, fiancé 34 female, cheated and got pregnant by the other guy. I've been engaged to my girlfriend for 4 years, and we've been together for nearly 10 years. We had our ups and downs, presumably like everyone else, but it was never due to anything questionable, as far as I know. When Miso began a new job around 6 months ago, I started sensing/feeling/seeing more red signals. Prior to this new employment, I had supported her throughout her studies, and we were both excited that she would be able to seek a profession with her new qualifications. She's begun meeting new pals now that she's been on the job for a few months. So the first red flags were her being out till 3 a.m. or staying out overnight. She claims she stayed at her sister's place and not returning home until the next morning. I am a trusting person, therefore I let it go without further examination. Then she travels out of state with her new work pals to a beach approximately 6 hours away, or so she informed me at the time. Apparently, while on this beach vacation, she met a man in a club and they had. So, 8 weeks ago, Miso returns home after a vacation, and a day later she informs me that she has to leave to reconsider our engagement and relationship. I'm clearly taken aback since I've been going about my business as usual, not realizing anything was wrong. At this time, I'm not aware of any cheating. I urged her to remain and offered to take her to therapy, but she refused and fled, claiming to be sleeping at her sister's place. She finally returned and indicated that she wanted to work on things and that she would be willing to go to couples therapy. She informs me she's pregnant 3 weeks ago. Again, I'm a trusting person, so I think it's mine, since we've been trying to start a family for a long time. I become excited and begin making baby plans, purchasing baby books, corner protectors, and so on. However, those red flags began to appear in my head and my thoughts began to spin. So I told her I wanted to get a paternity test done to prove I was the father. I responded that I trusted her, but I added that it was due to my own insecurity and the fact that I needed to meet her request. She was irritated that I made the suggestion, so we put it aside for a time. I mentioned the paternity test again on Friday at home, when we were talking about the baby. At this point, she broke down and admitted to me that she had been cheating on me and that she is certain that the father is the other person. She then informed me that she had scheduled an abortion for the next day. To say the least, I was stunned and my heart was crushed. I didn't panic out, I'm still waiting for that to happen, and told her I'd drive her to her abortion appointment, since it was almost an hour away and I didn't want her getting sick or whatever on the way home. She subsequently tells me that she met this man on a beach vacation and then they met up again, I guess during her other visit at her sister's, although she disputes this, and had for the second time, what she tells me could be more than twice-eyed. She informed me that the father told her that he doesn't want anything to do with the kid and advised her to get an abortion. She'd been wanting a baby for a long time, so I'm sure this was difficult for her to hear. He also proposed that she ask me to raise it for her. Lol, I guess they talked about me. Who knows? Maybe if I hadn't been discussing paternity testing, I might have fallen into that trap. I soon left our apartment and returned to live with my folks. She's trying to tell me she loves me, but I'm crushed and don't see how anything can be fixed at this time. I'm just so sad about the life we had being ruined, and I lost my companion or dog, although I'm always at home with it since I WFH, and all the other things that shatter when a relationship dies. I suppose I'm seeking for some direction on what to do next, or for any advice on how to begin experiencing the effects of this since I'm feeling lifeless right now. Edit. Thank you for all of your encouragement. Reading these comments is assisting me in coping with the situation, so I appreciate it. I've transferred around 85% of my belongings. Some of the remaining goods are in storage and bundled up, so I'll have to plan some time with the ex-fiancé to sort through it all. But once the final trip there is completed, I'll be entirely relocated. I've gotten everything of substantial worth out of there. Edit 2. The lease was ended on 12/31/2021, but she hadn't completely moved out yet, so I had to go over and assist her in getting rid of the remaining belongings. I had the sense that there was still a lot of things, but thankfully it wasn't that awful, and it only took me about 2 hours to get everything out of there. After that, I said goodbye with no emotion and went, and I haven't seen her since. The only thing left was auto insurance, which I canceled and replaced with a new policy. I texted her that the insurance was expiring and that she had 10 days to get a new one, so I left her plenty of time. Who knows what she did, but it's not my issue. I haven't talked to her since I contacted her regarding vehicle insurance on January 3, 2022. She has made no effort to contact me. Not that I want her to. In fact, I'm relieved she hasn't tried phoning me or anything. I contacted with the landlord, who informed me that I will be getting documents about my early termination charge and how to pay it. I went to their tenants portal online, but my account has been disabled, so I can't see anything. The landlord did indicate that they already had another tenant lined up. Because they haven't provided me anything, I'm still unsure how this termination fee will work. I'm wondering whether there's anything COVID-related prohibiting them from charging me, or if there's some other restriction I'm not clear of. But I haven't paid any of the money yet, so I'm just waiting for it to arrive in the mail at some point. I'm sure they'll send me the cost, but it'd be a pleasant surprise if I didn't have to pay the $3,000. Aside from that, I've been doing fine. I get to experience emotional distress, as if I hadn't cried a single tear for her or our relationship's demise. I think I feel liberated. I've been working out at the gym doing side jobs and enjoying my interests whenever I can. I also plan to rock climbing and trekking vacation with one of my closest friends, whom I seldom see. It's incredibly freeing to be able to do what I want without having to check with anybody else. Make sure our finances are in order or make sure our calendars are set. It's fantastic because I can do anything I want. One of the comments on this page said that I haven't been sad because my future self knows how wonderful my life will be one day, and I believe that more and more each day. I used to feel constrained, but now I don't have anything holding me back, and I want to see all there is to see in life. Story 2. Wife of 10 years cheated with a woman. My wife and I have been married for 10 years and have known each other for 12. I've spotted her traveling out to the city in the previous 3 weeks to visit a new buddy she met. She stayed out beyond her commuting time and ignored my calls and messages. We got into an argument when she went out to brunch at 3:30 p.m. instead of returning home to our family as she had promised. She spent the night out there because of the altercation, and she made me feel like I was being too concerned about her spending time in the city. I discovered she had erased my incoming messages from my phone that she had sent me from another mobile number she had texted me from in the city, which raised a red flag. I let messages run on our home computer and was horrified to discover texts showing her having an emotional affair and saying things like, "Don't say anything here, my husband is around." When I questioned her, she insisted it didn't count since she was a woman, but she ultimately admitted that she was spending an excessive amount of time away from home and would address it. I couldn't sleep that night, so I looked through her phone. My wife had trust concerns early in our relationship and established the expectation of no mobile phone privacy. She had Snapchat installed, something she hadn't done previously, and her buddy had no text history. She overlooked one item on her phone, a newly formed email account. It includes Snapchat footage and text messages indicating a physical affair that began 2 months ago. I'm devastated to discover and proof of a physical connection. When I challenged her again, she confirmed what was going on despite her continuous attempts to deceive. She wants me to let her go out once a week and keep things the same way they were before I found out. I want to remain with her, but I can't share her with anybody, least of all with someone who promoted lying and developing a relationship with a married lady. I'm looking for guidance. Update 1. I forgot to mention that we have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. I'd also want to point out that this is from 2 days and roughly 12 hours ago. Also add, after addressing her about the matter once again and informing her that I couldn't share her with someone who advocated adultery and exploration without your spouse's knowledge or agreement. I told her that I would someday be open to us as a married couple seeing other women, but that we must always come first, and that the emotional aspect of her affair was the most heartbreaking. She selected me and the kids and ended the relationship, but she continues to beg me that she can't live without her particularly. They first met 2 months ago. When I tell her that if she feels that way, I'll get out of her way for her happiness and will divorce, she says she can't live without me. I also learned that she told the AP that she'll call her in 6 months and let her know if she can't live without her. Another fact I had to dig for, but she ultimately told me. She wants to have her cake and eat it as well. To maintain the secure family life we've established while still being able to abandon the family life and be free as she was before children. Update 2. Wow, what a hectic 36 hours. It included a commitment to family, a trip of up to 600 miles, a visit to the emergency department, with no violence or anything associated, Disneyland, and very little sleep. Before I put out the information and ask her some questions about repairing trust, I need to relax and ponder. I thank everyone who has read and replied with honesty and instigation, rather than simply rage, which may be overwhelming for folks in our position.